Well, our next skater represents, there he is, Hong Kong, 17-year-old Jarvis Ho, who has been competing on the Junior Grand Prix a little earlier this season in Ankara, Turkey.
And indeed, Jarvis has created a different free skate to his junior program for this senior event, and that a self-choreographed piece wanting to show his passion and his love for skating. Popular piece, Rain in Your Black Eyes, for his performance.
Well, Mark, that was a great skate for this young man, Jarvis Ho from Hong Kong. We were looking at the scores from Turkey a little earlier this season. This was his top skate, I think. We'll see what the scores end up to be, but That was great.
And interestingly, looking back at some of the past performances for Jarvis Ho, he has demonstrated quite some consistency, including competing at the Asian Open and the Thailand Open, but this, I think, from a jump rotational perspective, was cleaner than that which we've seen from him before.
he in the short program and during practice session, we saw him over-rotating the takeoff sometimes, picking too far to the inside on both the Lutz and the flip. That didn't happen today. He had his body in alignment better, can still be better, but that was a terrific, and you could see his emotion.
Well, that, you know, as he's cleaning the ice, showing what we've seen from some of the world's most famous senior skaters, a little homage to the audience or excitement for the audience as he leaves the ice, and that confirms what we know from the skater. He wants to get signatures from other skaters competing at this event. He's obviously a fan of the sport and the skaters.
Watch right here. That pick on the first one goes a little bit inside, but he gets around it, and it is clean in the system. Really have it. There's no jumps with under rotations. That's good. And you can see clearly the blade is backwards on that element. Up into the double toe loop. Arms in pretty tight to the chest. But he was on a mission, and he was organized, and he was consistent throughout the program.
And now for Jarvis, having done such a great job this season already, both in the Junior Grand Prix and now here, now what are the takeaways for Jarvis Ho? Because he's not competing for a spot at the Olympic Games, but in 4 years' time he could be. So he cites Donovan Creo as one of his idols. What can he learn to amass from this experience competing alongside him to use for his own skating?
I think we're going to see him next week in Baku, or maybe it's Gdansk. I'm not sure, but it's really soon. For the second Junior Grand Prix,
as we see the landing the double axel then, committing to greater line to get more degrade of execution. Of course, triple axel and quadruple jumps will be something Jarvis and his team are mindful that they need, but there are so many more points that he can achieve with pushing up those grades of executions.
And posture, body alignment, you know, stretch toes, all the little small details. But for the stage of development he's at, that's the best he can do at the moment.
And acknowledging that he is his own choreographer, you can see the passion that he brings. And now he's going to hopefully, by being here again, to learning from some of the increased difficulty of transitions that others have, to keep using that in his own work as a budding choreographer.
Ho Jarvis has earned 112.
112 season's best, 09. He's thrilled. That is first in the free program at the moment with a 164 total competition score. He earned it. He's thrilled about it.
I want everybody to be as excited as Jarvis Ho is in the kissing crowd.
Isn't that great? What a feeling.